Some things never get old, right? And one of the sayings that never gets old, especially in a chef's life, is, oh, if it's not Indian, it's not going to be tasty. That's not true, right? Taste is in your hands. Ingredients are in your hands. And if there's someone to blame it for not being tasty, guess who it is? Hi, this is Ranveer Brar, and let's cook something that's not Indian, the Indian way, and make it tasty. Let's do a exotic vegetable jalfrezi. Ready? Won't take much time. And I often get asked this question as to what is the right sized knife to use for what vegetable? The answer though lies in the question, right? Especially when you believe that one knife fits all, not all the time, right? Through this, I'll just try and explain why. Now, normally, this is the most common Victorinox knife that I use. This is typically called an office knife. And the reason you want to use this is because it is that one size fits all kind of knife, which means anything from small to medium in size can be easily cut with this, whether it's these onions or tomatoes. But as the size of the vegetable increases, you realize that the blade, the thickness of it and the length of it is not good enough, and that's when you need to choose a bigger knife. Otherwise, you end up either not having a tidy cut, or you end up having a very tidy cut on your fingers. Alright, so let's start with the office knife and let's use it for the right size veggies. So to quickly recap it for you, whenever you're working with the vegetable, understand the thickness of it, the length of it, and then look at your knife, look at its blade, and look at the thickness of the blade and the length of the blade. And usually what I do is I just sort of put them together. If it makes sense, it makes sense, right? I mean, as simple as that. And I've spoken enough, I'll still speak about it. The biggest mistake that we do when we're cutting is we don't know where to hold the knife from, right? And I'll keep repeating this till the cows come home. The place where you hold the knife from is always the place where the knife is balanced, right? So if this was the knife and I were to put my finger somewhere here, that's where the knife is balanced from, which means that is where I'm going to pinch it from. So this is where I pinch the knife from for optimum control and best cutting. And I think it's the general human tendency to mistreat gourds, whether it is the tinda, turai, lauki at home or the zucchini outside. We just sometimes don't really treat gourds well, do we? So I always say all good things start with ghee. I'm going to add a little bit of asafoetida. If you don't like it, you can avoid it. I'm going to add a little bit of turmeric. If you don't like it, you should start liking it. I mean, it's good for you. It is powdered gold for the body. All you got to do is just swirl it around for 2 minutes and then let the tomato puree go in. Again, the evenness of the chopping of the onions also equally important, right? Everything has to cook at the same time is the premise of good cooking. All right, now here go the veggies. So you sort of cut them to a stage where the broccoli is going to take the longest to cook. Not like really long, but out of the three of them, broccoli is going to take the longest to cook, so it goes in first. In goes a little bit of water. I've kept the florets large because usually when you're cooking broccoli, it tends to anyways crumble and become smaller in size. So broccoli, cauliflower, it's a good idea to keep them as large florets because they're going to disintegrate in cooking just by the nature of them. And this is the time to add all the other veggies. And don't really hold back on the veggies. If you want to add mushrooms, go for it. If you want to add non-vegetarian stuff, if you want to add chicken, go for it. Shrimp, excellent idea. You could cook it more. You could cook it till the vegetables become like really cooked and become all mushy. And now for the jhal, chilies. I'm using non-spicy chili peppers because I want the vegetables to taste like vegetables and not just accessories to the chili. If you want, you could use spicy chili peppers as well. A little bit of coriander goes a long way. So a jalfrezi is not supposed to have a gravy or a sauce. It's supposed to just have a masala that lightly coats the chicken. So like I said, in essence, jalfrezi is supposed to be an Indo-Western dish. It's supposed to be an Anglo-Indian dish, never heavy on gravy. In fact, it has no gravy. It just has masala that just coats it. And a little bit of coriander for garnish. Beautiful. Well, this was the story of Jalfrezi. Started from India, moved to England, and we just took it sort of to where it belongs. Took it to a space where taste and exoticity meets. I hope you try the recipe, and I hope you do subscribe for more such recipes. I'm going to be here waiting for you with Victorinox India. This is Ranveer Brar signing off. See you soon.